welcome everybody, and today we're going to look at Joomla, my first few weeks at Opting Online and what I've learned so far. And we're also going to rebuild something that I didn't do a proper job of in the Bridge Builder live stream. And that's actually basically it for today. So let's see how things work and how things pan out. Let's also see if the if something is working, because I don't know if it's working yet. So let me check that out, because the chat doesn't want to load, I guess. Hello, little brother, how are you doing? Hello, world. Let's see. Something went wrong, so I need to check how I can find this quickly and easily. Let's see. Where is the frickin' URL? Sometimes things don't work as you expected, right? And that's usually the case with this live stream. But it's all fine, it's part of it. So let me check that out real quick. Copy this one, paste this one in, activate. And it should be working. Let's see. Let's send out another message to see if everything's working. I'm good. A bit tired. Oh, but work. Well, I will manage. How about you? I'm doing fine. The eldest kid is sick today, and the last couple of days as well. There's a lot of colleagues also at work that have the flu or something like that. So it's always always a thing that's coming, right? Around February, everybody gets sick, and luckily I'm not ill yet, but let's see how things go in the next couple of days. You never know how things will work. So today I want to take a look at Joomla. With all the WordPress drama going on at the moment, I don't know if there's a very steady future for WordPress itself. There could be a fork, there could be something else, and I want to look at existing kind of CMS systems or alternatives to WordPress. We have looked in the past at Web Studio, Drupal, and today we're going to look at my old favorite one, Joomla. I started using Joomla when I was starting out building websites. It was at a time that Mambo and Joomla were still one thing, and then they split up. So first it was called Mambo, but there were some issues with the community in Mambo team, and then they separated into Mambo and Joomla. And today we're going to take a look. It's nice that you still remember that. I today had a look with a colleague of mine at my first web designs, and you can clearly see it was created with Joomla back then. But this is Joomla. Joomla is also a CMS system, content management system, and allows you to create websites as well. And the most important thing I would say I had for Joomla was that it was very easy to use, and that the content is managed in modules, and the modules allows you to have a modular system, because you have the 2-column grid or the 3-column grid all set up in the modules, if you set it up at least in the right way. Now you can download Joomla for free because it's open source, and you can also press this launch button. The last time I tried this, it didn't work, so let's see if it works out this time. Let's put it in for a spin, right? CloudSec, because you're in there. So let's use your name, right? And let's see. I want to use the latest version. Although they still offer 4.4, it will be deprecated at some point. For now, there are security updates, but I don't think it will last long. Let's select this one, and let's continue. Now we have to sign up, so I will quickly switch my screen so you don't have to see me doing all these kinds of things. So let's see, we press this one. And the last time I signed up, I didn't get it to work. So let's see what happens this time around. That all looks good. 1122 as a password. That sounds fair. Netherlands. Where do you plan to build a website tutorial? I accept the terms and we can help out. Let's register. I need to use my phone. I don't like that actually, to use my phone number for something. So if that will be removed, that will be nice. I also don't want any special things. No. I just want to launch a test website. Let's see if this works, right? Hacking right now. Nice. That's always the good stuff. So I hope this works this time around, because last time I tried it, it crashed. But this is the easiest way to get started with Joomla, to try things out, to see the system, see the backend. I wonder how it changed through the time, because I remember in the back in the old days there was a navigation bar at the top with the modules and extensions, and you could use the templates and that sort of things. Oh, something's happening. Look at this. Ooh. Something has been sent to my phone. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I need to switch to this one again. Let's see. It is this number. God damn it, iPhone. 965. And there we go. Verify. Confirmed. Nice. Now, this isn't your normal Joomla setup. So I don't know where I am right now. This doesn't look like I'm even remotely close to a website for creating Joomla. Your products? Why am I in a hosting panel suddenly? I don't understand what's happening here. Choose a product. What's going on? I wanted to do something here to launch a demo website. It should be straightforward and easy if you ask me. Let's do this. And then we need to select the version. And now we need to sign up again. See, it doesn't work. So trying out Joomla on their website, it's very confusing. It is supported by cloudaccess.net, so that's the thing that we were in just now. But I don't understand the slightest why I don't come in my inside of my Joomla website. So let's see if we can find a Joomla demo. I know in the past there was like a open source kind of testing ground. Administrator demo. Joomla 4. See, this is where we go wrong. Now, I don't want to take too much time of this. I guess this was the one. Try it before you install it. Accept. Main page. I wonder which version this is. Let's go back. Let's put in my email address and let's see if this works. Yes, I accept the risk. It's been sent to your email address. I wonder, this looks very old school. I wonder if this works. And let's go to my Gmail and switch screen just for a bit, that we can see that we received anything. Let's switch my account. Ah, right. Why doesn't it respond? So I just got an email. Let's see, can we hide this for now? Let's put it there and switch to my screen. Yeah, I'm sorry for this. I just got an email and I didn't notice it before. So here we have our website, our Joomla website. And this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like much, so let's open this one up. Let's see, if I remember correctly, I set up something. No. And then we type in administrator to get in the backend. There we go. And in here we have Lex, if I remember correctly. Login. It doesn't match. Now, how do we log in? Here is the credentials. No, we don't need that. So we go here, paste it in. All right, this is very confusing if you're doing this for the first time, by the way. So you get your credentials, and here we are. This is our Joomla website. Setting up and launching a test website could be easier than this. So please make it easier to just fire up a demo. Really take an example of WordPress. I mean, but this is the dashboard. Look how different it looks. And all these settings are still the same. They have the same names. They used to be in the top bar right here over here. But yeah, this looks like it. And in content, we have our articles, and articles are all the things you have on your website. So pages and that sort of things, but also blog posts. Yeah, and as we can see, it still uses a Google-like editor or word editor to create this kind of things. No way, this is better than WordPress. Do you think so? Only took 10 minutes, yeah, to get it work. Sometimes it is... yes, I did work. Let's see. Let's add a test for this. Test. We want to increase compatibility with our... Do you allow us to collect data? Yes, go ahead. And we can set any kind of category. And then we can hit save and close. Now this is published on the front end of the website. And then we can take a look at our website itself. And we don't see it anywhere. Now this is something that I don't know how this works actually anymore. Because it was such a long time ago. Do we need to create something for this? Options. So here are all options that we have. You can hide. For different kind of settings. We have schema, settings, publishing. Well, there's still a lot of things going on. And we can toggle the editor. If you want to use HTML instead of the editor, you can use it as well. And this is just your normal text editor. I know in the past that I remember fondly that we created those kinds of things. Ooh, we can add in an article. So if we select this one, look at that. It's linked to an article. And we can add in a module as well. I know in the past I used tables to design my pages. That's how it worked in Joomla before, long time ago. And let's see, here we have our categories, our featured, our fields, so we can create different kind of fields. Let's see, it's a text field, and this is perhaps a link. Quit it, stupid thing. I don't want you to come and go every time. Let's see, the link, and it's not required. And on every post type it should be, and then the field, yeah. Sounds about right. Let's see what happens. And let's go to articles. And if we add a new one, do we have another way of entering the fields? Here we have our link field, you see? So this is how you add metadata to your post fields. Then we have a media library where we can upload images, and we have site modules. And now the site modules are the things that we can reuse throughout the website. And here we have articles. Now let's add a latest article module. So this will contain the articles we want to be uncategorized. So articles uncad. It must be visible, so it should be shown. Recently published first, and anyone can see it. start publishing date, those don't matter actually. And then we can save the module. And then inside our article, we can add a module for that. So we can set, let's say, test again. And then inside of our CMS content, we can add in the module. So we can add in this one. And this is the shortcode for loading in the module that we just created. And then we save and close. But I don't think it will show on the website, you see? Oops. Close one too many. So do we need to add it to our menu? Let's see. We can add our menu. See how easy it is actually, how to find things. The most important things are already available immediately. And it is more obvious than... Stop it, I'm very distracted by you. Sidebar. Now go away and stay away, because I don't want you right now. Stupid thing. Stay on page. Getting very frustrating with these things happening. All right, let's see. On cat article, we have a menu type that you can choose. So we want to have articles. Ooh, and here we can also have articles. Let's use the archived articles, or can we also have active articles or something like that? Category list, category blog. That sounds like something. And then we can select our category. Here we have uncategorized types. Those are all good. The forms minutes. So required data. Please, where in the menu should it be? And that should be it. Now if we go here. Here we have our second menu item. And if we go there, here we have our blog posts. Now, it doesn't look very beautiful, but at least we got something working pretty fast as well. Now, yeah, you already saw that you can't change the content very easily or make it look pretty. If we toggle the editor, you can see that you can load in the modules. Go away. And here are components. What are those again? Some banners, contacts. I never used those. I can't remember them actually. User is just for the system itself. And then you have system. And here you have extensions. So with extensions, you can install extensions from a other website. And if we go to joomla.org, and then look at download and extend and go to extensions. These are similar to plugins actually. So you have an overview of all the plugins or all the extensions that are available. For instance, we want a SEO version installed. And when you want to do that, you need to look at which Joomla version is supported. You can see here, J3 is for Joomla 3, Joomla 4, and Joomla 5. Let's see if we can find maybe a page builder. Because yeah, that's what I want to use, right? So let's see if we can find something that is actually for free. Because I saw that Mr. Webb on YouTube just showed that there's a U-Theme Pro that has some kind of page building experience. And this one as well. This is Joom Shaper. And this is also a page builder experience. And I want to take a look at that just in a minute. But just see how you can install the Joomla extensions. By the way, I'm very curious. What do you like this the Joomla, or don't you like it? Have you used it, by the way, in the past? Because yeah, I know that Dave Dan, he said that he used it in the past. I saw someone else on X also responding to it that they have used it in the past. I've also used it a long time ago. I really don't know. We should just go with something, right? Oh, media library. Let's see if we can add something like that. Your ultimate access control solution. Unlock with Web3. I know there was something like a HWD. Yeah, there's a lot of options. I understand. Media. Something like that. Oh, here we have Commento, Joomla 4. See, this is really a very different experience that you need to have a specific version. It would be nice that I can select the version right here. Let's go see if we have some kind of galleries. We have Foca gallery and it's free, so that we can use it. Let's just download it. Let's see what happens. Yes, you may take all my data, and let's download the latest version. There we have it, and then go here, browse, inside the downloads, and we can just upload it. This is how WordPress would work as well in the past, that you need to download it and then upload it to get it working. And now we have the amazing plugin section that you can just discover plugins that can help you out. It is so different. Then we can go here to configure. And as you can see, it's now right in the components. So components will show all the things that you have installed and you're using. And now we're using Foca gallery. And we can add images, multiple add, and you can drag files in. Let's see if we have something that we can just use right away. I don't know. Remove that one. I don't see any, only this one for Drupal CMS from last week. Let's see what happens. Go away. Looks like the toggling isn't working anymore. And this one isn't uploading. So we need to press start upload, else it doesn't do anything. Makes sense if you do multiple uploads, right? Else you would have a very difficult time. So there we have it. It's uploaded now. And then we hit save and close. Select file name or folder. We need to add the title. Let's add test again. Select this one. And there we have it. It's now uploaded. And now let's see how we can get it inside of our website. So I guess we need to go to menu and add something. Manage. Loading, loading, loading. And in our main menu, yes, that sounds about right. I want to add a new menu. Not a complete menu, I just want to add a menu item. So let's press there on the plus. And let's see if we can select something. Here we have Foca gallery and list gallery and photos. Save and close. And then if we look at our website, we have photos. And this is our photo gallery, but it doesn't show anything. I guess this has to do with how we set it up, that we missed something. And this is the URL it's using. You can change that as well. Yeah, I think this is basically it, what I want to take a look at in Joomla. The managing of the content is actually pretty easily, pretty user-friendly. I have to say as well that I've used this in the past, so maybe that's the reason why this is easier. And I also wanted to look at the page building experience from a UTheme Pro. So let's see how this works. I don't know why. Why doesn't it want to hide anymore? Come on, hide. Hide, 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 hide. Right, then we'll just leave it open. Let's see, how can we open the experience? Here we have layout, site. So we can change the name. We can remove the title. There we have our name. Taggies, reviews. This feels like a little bit like the customizer. I don't know if you have used it, but this feels the same. And that's a pretty nice experience, if you ask me. It's pretty easy. Oh, look at that experience. That looks nice. Now, how do we change everything? So here we have our grid, and it's a little bit more abstract, if you ask me. We can add another item. Test. Yeah. Insufficient rights. So we can't add a item. That's too bad. Let's go back and let's see if we can change the style. You have the general, you have components that you're using, but how do you go around and change this? It does say what it is, but I don't know where to find it. Oh, no, it doesn't. I want to change my lunch into something different. We have columns, components, animation. But the animation for what is this? It's so abstract. That's why I really like the new way of creating websites since Elementor, actually. It is much more visible. Because now we're just trying to gamble where we can change these settings here. Top left, back, builder, sorry, pages. All right, in pages, we need to change something. And then home. Oh, there we go. Thank you, by the way, Brett Kaiser. I'm assuming that you're really using... look at that. So it was just hidden a little bit inside of pages. So you need to go to pages whilst we are looking at a page. And then we can select our home page and then we can change the settings. So you can see what you are selecting. So we're now in the hero section and there we have our things. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. It's very nice to see different kind of builders and how they use it. I really like a visual way of creating this. So it is a better experience when you're using something like a UTheme Pro to change your website's content. So if you just want to use a template and then change things up, this is the way to go, I would say. And the other builder that I wanted to take a look at, by the way, I think this is a very good way, and this feels a little bit like the customizer we have in WordPress. Although it's a little bit different when you just look into pages and how you need to edit the website itself. But other than that, this feels the same, that you can do a different style or do a different layout. You can also create templates. What can you do? Can you manage and change the template and just make things different? Yeah, look at that. Although this is a little bit abstract, you see it directly reflecting on the right hand side. I can see people want to use these kinds of things. So this is a very nice experience, actually. Now I'm very curious how the Joomla Shaper builder would perform. So we see a button floating right here to edit page to try this out. There we go. And we can add our design. Subscribe. Right. UTheme is backed by a CSS framework, so the customizer is actually changing the CSS. That is awesome. that does make sense. That's why it is feeling a little bit the same, right? And here we can change the color. What kind of color? Yeah, then we change the full color. And we can add a link. Oh, you need to click here to add a link, and then you can enter it here. Baggies.review. So this feels more like the builder that we're used to in WordPress, actually. And you can add elements, right? I want to add a element like, look at those options. You can add in Joomla modules like we have seen in the previous example. And you can add in a heading. Yeah, this feels very similar to what we used to in Elementor or Bricks Builder or whatsoever. This is a heading. Looks awesome. And then we can snap those settings to left panel. Look at that. And we can change our responsiveness. So if we want to change the size, this feels a little bit like Breezy as well. Or Brizzy, I have to say. We can change those. We can directly add or change text. I'm very curious. Yeah, you do have span still. So yeah, I can imagine this needs to be done. To get a certain highlight in there, I think the Gutenberg editor has a nicer experience, but I could get used to this. It's fine. It's fine to do so. Oh, you also have an interaction panel. Oh, look at this. This looks a lot like what's called Webflow. There you can see a animation and something is happening on scroll and when something is happening. So this looks very good. Hello, Dave. We're now looking at a Joom Shaper, a page builder for Joomla. And it's actually a pretty good experience, pretty similar to something like Bricks Builder or Elementor, if you prefer to use that one. But it has animations in there. You can add different kind of interactions, and it looks a little bit like Webflow when you open up the interaction panel. Now we also do have layers. Ah, I see. So this is the structure. Look at the responsiveness of this. This is really awesome. It responds to the position you're in, so you don't have to search for this. I think Maxime can can add this in advanced themer as well. That you are able to just hover and then highlight it, the section in the structure panel. Joom Shaper, I used their Helix Ultimate theme at one point. Nice. Way back, I guess, right? Oh, there's also an AI integration. So this feels very comfortable to work with. So yeah, that looks nice. And we have different page layouts and templates. It feels a little bit like the Elementor of for Joomla, actually, with all the options available. Now, are we able to add classes or that sort of things? It doesn't look like that, so it really does feel like Elementor. The responsive options and interactions. Your media files. All right, this was a very nice experience, actually. Let's see what people have to say. Hi, Dave. All right, so my conclusion for Joomla. It feels more intuitive to use. I've used Joomla in the past, so that's something to take care of. And I really liked how Joom Shape Builder, what's it called? SP Page Builder. Yeah, the Joomla Shaper page builder is something I really could recommend if you want to use Joomla and are familiar with using a page builder like Elementor or Bricks Builder. And if you prefer, just like me, to work in that way, then I think that will be the theme or the extension that I could recommend and see myself using in the future as well. Now, I'm really wondering if you looked at how we created a website. I'm wondering what you would think about it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Joomla and the Joomla Shaper page builder. And yeah, that was it for the Joomla section. And next up, I want to take a look at the past week and the things that I've been up to. And yeah, there's just so many things happening actually in my in the last couple of weeks that I've been working at a new company, and it's called Afdeling Online, and they are now taking over another company, and it's called Itch. So I'm now a WordPress specialist for a company called Itch. So yay, yippee! And what I found is that they manage their websites and their projects within spreadsheets, literal spreadsheets from Google. And I'm wondering if that's the best way to do so. There's also some kind of, what's it called? A project management system, and that's called Grip, grip.com, where they manage their projects in. But I'm wondering, how do you guys do it? So if you have any idea on how you do it, and if you have some tips for me as well on how we can do the project management in a different kind of way, in a more streamlined way, that would be my preferred way. Please let me know what kind of tools do you use. I'm thinking that something like Notion or Blitzit could be very useful. Notion to just have a very flexible project management system, but at $10 a month, I don't know if it's worth to buying it. And then you also have Blitzit for your local task. I mean, you have seen it, right? You've seen Blitzit. It's my favorite task manager, and then you can plan something in the backlog this week and today. And this really helps out with planning what I'm going to do. And also the way I'm working, I'm very used to it. Because you, at the start of the day, you pick something from the backlog, put it in this week, because then you will start working out in this week. And from this week, you will put things in today. So what are the things that you will pick up today? For instance, if we want to cover something from Blitzit, we can put it right here. And then we have planned it for this week. And then if we can manage it today, we set it in today. However, if there's something that suddenly needs and requires our attention, we can put it in Blitzit as well, and then move it into today so that we can do it today. And then we can also see the other tasks that are still open and need some attention at a certain point in time. It also helps with keeping track of how much time you've spent on a certain task. For instance, last week we had an ACF field, and we tried to sort the ACF fields relationships in a certain kind of way. Let me see if I can find it. I can show it like this on a notepad. You could imagine that you have some kind of chapters. You have a chapter N1, and within chapter N1 you have a subchapter, and you have N2, and in N2 there's a chapter as well, and N2.3, and then you have some kind of teacher and articles that are related to a specific ACF field. Blitzit. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? You missed that that's already Tuesday. No worries, buddy. Please use your graphic.design profile for this, because it matches more with what you're doing, Jimmy. So these are the kind of chapters that are in there. And I spend a lot of time trying to organize these because they need to be in a certain sorting and how it and it could be so that the people that are using the system are ordering them in a different kind of way. For instance, they can start out with the articles, and then they have an 1.1 selected, and then they have an 2 selected, and then they, oh, I also want N1 in there. Oh, I also want N2.3 in there. You know what? I also want N3.1 in there, and I also want N2.1 in there. But the sorting needs to be similar to this. So I wrote a whole function just to get all these sortings out. It was very tedious to do, also very fun to do. So how I managed to do this is creating different kind of, by the way, it was not also only the N, it was also A. So something like this. So the way I approached it, because the ordering mattered a lot, and it could be in a very different way as well. I used a 3 different lists. So one list is for all the chapters starting with A, another list for chapters starting with N, and then the rest of them. So teacher was important first, and then the articles was important. Now, inside the A list, I want to have a 1.1, a 2, and a A1. But they needed to be sorted by title name, because the A1 should be before a 1.1, and then you have A2. This is the kind of complicated things that we run into last week. And I spent a lot of time trying to fix it. And if I did it afterwards, I could schedule it in my calendar, but I didn't see how much time I really spent on it. So that's where Blitzit really came in handy, that I saw that I spent a lot of time just to create such a function for this and to understand how things work with ECF and that sort of thing. So it was very fun to discover how it works, and Blitzit really helped out with time tracking because, else we will be way over time. Today feels like a Monday. Nice. Something else I would like to share. I was looking at Jimmy's stream, and it feels like he's very structured inside of his stream. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to do that as well. So he got me really inspired to try to do a kind of structure in my live stream, and that's something that I am trying to do now. So at first we are going to cover a main topic or something important that I want to talk about. For today it was Joomla, but next week I want to take a look at block error. Whew, very excited for that one, by the way. If you don't know what block error is, it is a Gutenberg page builder. But what makes it different from GreenShift, by the way, is that it uses the original blocks and then enhances it. So it creates, let's see, it creates the blocks and then add the stylings in there. And there's also something on the roadmap that it will allow you to add site variations or variations, we can just say. Which means it is really easy to get that up and running, to make changes, and without relying on all the changes within the Gutenberg editor, but just doing it as a variation. And then the end user can use that variation to make the changes to a certain block or something else. And that's something that I'm very excited about. So that will be the first section that we'll be exploring next week. So not today, Lex. I'm very excited, by the way, about that one, if you didn't notice. But Jimmy got me thinking about using a kind of structure. So starting out with exploring tools and plugins, then something about weekly roundups where I share what I've been up to. Then we will be going over some kind of live building, a tutorial. I saw that on Jimmy's live stream and I was like, I can do that too. Let's try it out. And then we could have a general chat or whatsoever, or see what things go. Maybe we will end it earlier or maybe later. We'll see what happens. So, Jimmy, thank you for that. And I really want all of you to check out Jimmy's YouTube channel. Not only for the live streams, every Friday he will stream a Bricks into the weekend, but also on his videos. He's now exploring the Proforms element and goes by step how you get a nice form running, and then you have an email designer in there as well. For instance, these two are very nice, because it allows you to create a review rating system, and then an email designer will send a verification of your review. So very nice done. I think these are very complex kind of things, but really loving it. So check those videos out. I should also structure my live stream up for Thursday as well. We all learn from Jimmy. Jimmy just does live streams, but he wants to do it perfectly. So he's a perfectionist, I guess. Which makes our lives a little bit easier, thinking about how can we improve our own live streams, right, Dave? So kudos for you, Jimmy. I thrive in structure. Nice. All right, and for the last two things that I really want to share is from Maxime. He has posted an update on Advanced Themer. Advanced Themer is something that extends Bricks Builder really well, and as you can see, there's a lot of things that has been added. It's insane how much this guy creates and makes. Maxime, well done. The most thing, if I should pick one of the things that I'm really excited about, it is the animation tab and the animation timeline. There's a new CSS pack where you can use CSS animations to create the animations without using JavaScript. I can show you a test that I have done by myself because I just like that. For instance, this text animation is all done with CSS. Now, it does need a little bit of setup because we need to add in our H1 and then have the spans to make this animation. And it happens only when when this animation is in view. Now, you can also do that animation on scroll. Now, I don't know if I have this active. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like I have it active anymore. Or maybe this doesn't work in Zen browser because it's based on Firefox. Let's see if we open up Edge. Luckily, no weird things open. There we go. See, this is what's happening on scroll. So on scroll, it's coming in and going out. And this used to take up a lot of time setting it up in JavaScript, but now we can do this all with CSS. Now, I still would recommend using some kind of JavaScript to make these spans and then adding the style in there, just to make your life a little bit easier. But you don't need JavaScript or JavaScript knowledge to create this. You just can do this with CSS, and here we have our CMS. And when we put a wrapper around it, this is to make sure that if you don't want if you're okay with using animations, then this will happen. For instance, your H1 span will do the animation. It will translate from 100% below to 0% above. So it's the text reveal animation, then you have the kind of animation, and then the latency, right? You have to run it. Here you have your animation delay. And that's how you can play around with creating these kinds of effects. And as you can see, you can reuse the class, so the animation will also happen on any other text fields you have added. And here I have also added the delay as well. So it's really fun to playing around with JavaScript and I mean CSS, sorry. And I hope to do that in the future as well, because I really like it. And that's what got me really excited about Advanced Themer. And then the next very big thing, Daniel is making waves with the implementation of API calls within Bricks Forge. And that is so awesome because you can do a API call and then put it in your front end. And you can see a demo here. He pulls in the reviews, and then you can set up in your loop builder, you can set up that this is the product you want to loop over. And within the API products, you have sub areas that have been shared. For this instance, he is using the sub area of the API product reviews. So here you have a big card that is the product, and then you have the product card review. And as you can see, this is a demo of how it could look and how it could feel. This will make so much sense and will work amazingly, because it's very hard to do API calls. I've tried to do it in the past as well, to create some kind of plugin that you can dynamically get your API calls and then put it in Bricks Builder. And Daniel has just solved it. It's amazing. I can't wait to test this out. So Daniel, hurry up and release this as soon as possible, because I'm very excited about this one. I really want to try it out. We also have a project at my day job where this could help out a little bit. I'm not totally sure if it's really the case, but it does show the potential of it. So that's really nice. Let's see what are the things that you're most excited about in Advanced Themer or in Bricks Forge. If you're ready to share something that you're very excited about, leave a comment down below, because I really want to know what excites you. Just like the animations in Advanced Themer or Bricks Forge in the API and the API calls got me very excited. Let's see in the chat. I'm going to launching my new series called What the F Field, where I will go over each field per video. Nice. I'm very curious. What the F field? Each field. I'm very curious. What kind of field do you mean? And by the way, hey Jimmy, this is smart. You should always, from now on, because you're becoming a YouTuber, always use this, because it is your way of communicating as well. And then people see you more involved and wonder, who is my graphic design? And then they come to your website. Ah, all the fields from Proforms. I see. Yeah, there's a lot, I guess, right? It's nice that you give a very comprehensive tutorial about those. Very easy to understand, and it helps you know when to use it and how to use it. So it's very nice. So for the demo today, I wanted to take a look at something that we tried out last week with Bridge Builders, or it's a few weeks back already, right? And I couldn't get it to work because my brain wasn't computing at that time. It sometimes happens, right? You're under pressure, but I was very, very tired. I had my first week at my new job and a lot of things has happened. So I couldn't get my brain to function properly to get the CSS in there. So that's something I want to reconcile today. Let's see if we can open it up. And let's see how we can do it today. So Bridge Builders episode 6. Matt. WordPress. There we go. It takes a while before you can find them. And then we have the GreenShift version. Now I don't want to do this in GreenShift. Let's see. I don't see directly where the page is, so I need to fetch it from Facebook. Let me do that real quick, because I want to show what kind of section I wanted to recreate and also how I wanted to solve it actually, but didn't get it to work at that point in time. So first, let me check out where the is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. And especially about one section. Let's Let's see. Let's remove all those things. Cancel. And let's remove this one. So I couldn't create this section right here. I had an idea, but I couldn't get it to work. This had to do with my tiredness, so sometimes it is what it is. Let's see, can we do it like this? Ah, here we go. So let's put them side by side. And let's find it. There we go. They remove it? What? Oh, there we go. And let's fire up our InstaWP. And let's do it like this, vertical alignments. And then we add a new page just to test it out, right? And then where's the section now again? Why is it gone and coming back every time? Doesn't need to be a certain width. All right, let's do this real quick. There we go. Bye-bye. So here we have the thingy that we wanted to recreate. So what I see here, let's deconstruct first, right? To make it a little bit easier to understand what's actually happening on this section. So what we see here is that we have a grid of 6 items. And inside the grid, we have another grid, actually. It's an invisible grid. Now, how people nowadays do it is that they create a flexbox for this one and a flexbox for this one, and then put the contents in there. But I would say that we don't need an extra flexbox, and then you need to put an extra container around that one as well. But we don't need all of that. And besides, our order of our content wouldn't work, because this would be the first section and this would be the second section. Now, if you're a little bit smart, you know that you can change how it starts and then use order to get it in front of one or another. But I would reckon that it can be done easier. And the way I would approach this actually is making a grid of something like this. And this is just one container. So a container of grid that is split like this. Now what we want to do is have four grids. So one for this one, 2 rows and 2 columns. That's what we are going to do. So let's just get to it, right? We'll open our bricks. Sometimes computer says no, for sure. Promote myself on someone else's live stream. Yeah, you really shouldn't be pressured about that one, Jimmy. It's very good that people see you because you're doing amazing stuff. All right, we'll put in a section. There we have our section. Inside our section, we want this to be a grid. So we go inside of our display, set it to grid. And for our grid, we want, perhaps we want to have it as a repeat. Grid 3. Now, I'm not used to using ACSS. There we have our 3 grid structure. And then inside of our container, we want to add another div. And inside of our div, we want to set our display to grid as well. And then for our columns, we want our, remember this image? We want 2 columns. So 1FR, 1FR. And we want 2 rows, 1FR, 1FR. Now, to make it a little bit more visible, let's add in all the things that we need. So to make the order sense, we start out with a heading, then we add a little bit of text, And then we add our icon, because the icon is the accent, and the most important thing in this section is actually our heading and our text, right? So let's add those in. And there we go. There we have our structure. But as you can see, it doesn't look like anything that we actually wanted, right? So we need to change things up. We need to change this grid position. And how we do that is that we can't do that actually in our content. With GreenShift, it's the same thing. I don't know why. It's only possible on containers, but it should be possible also to change the position on any element that's inside of a grid. Luckily, there's always a way to circumvent certain things, so we can add in our own CSS. So we open up the root and we position this in our grid and then row. And because we want our icon to be on the first row, we set it to 1/1. This means the first column of the first row. And it doesn't go, it means the first column of the row and will end in the first column of the row. Now, how you should count this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So actually, it will end on 2. And as you can see, it's still doing good. Now you see that our text is getting beneath the icon, and we don't want that. So how we can fix that is going in here, go to grids column, and also say that we want 1/2, but then it will end here because we have 1 row, 2 columns, and then 3 columns. So we want to end it on the last column. So we set it to 3. Now, as I guess I meant rows, so we need to change those up, but it's really quickly easy to do so. And there we go. Now these are underneath each other and the icon is nicely aligned in this section, right? It is now spanning 2 columns because this icon can be bigger than our heading. But I see that there's a lot of space used by the content itself, right? There's a lot of white space there that doesn't need to be there. So what we can do is go out to our div. Then in our content, we have set 1 fraction, which means that every column takes up the amount of space of 1 fraction of the amount of space. So usually it's half. What we can do instead of 1 fraction is use something like min content. And if you min content, we immediately see that this spacing is a little bit tinier. And if we do that for the second one as well, we see that the spacing is even more tinier. Because the icon can span 2 rows, the height of that row is determined by the largest element that needs to be in that section. And in this place, it is our heading. In the second section, it is our text. So this is how the grid builder can work. And as you can see, it's much more efficient because we don't need extra containers. And also our structure looks like how it should look, right? It should look like this. It should look like having a heading, a paragraph, and an icon in the structure. But visually, we want to change the order of items, so we change it in our grid. And that's where I always have difficulties with using external tools, because we can't set these kinds of settings. They can only be set on containers, and I don't understand why, because it should be available everywhere. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of spacing still going on. And if we look at the example right here, there's not that much of spacing, and they can be very easily fixed. Because I'm using a CSS, I imagine that there's already a default gap being used. We can set it to 0, and as you can see, it's now very tight. And we can also see gap. What kind of gap can we use? It's a shame that we can't see any values, because that would make our lives a little bit easier. Because unlike Gavin Geary, I don't remember them by heart. We can also use some... why am I doing like this? We can use spacing right click options. There we go. We have space, and now it's a bit tighter. So this is what I actually wanted to do during our bricks building challenge, but as I stated this earlier, my brain didn't compute. It's much more clean, but it does need a little bit of custom CSS because it doesn't have that by default in any builder actually, and I hope that Edge will fix that in one day. So this is basically it. So I hope that this section helps a little bit out. I hope this section helps a little bit out with understanding how you can do and build structures a little bit more efficient. It requires you to have less containers, which makes the DOM smaller, which is usually an issue with the core web vitals, and especially when you're using Elementor. You can position everything in a grid, which makes it very flexible. And I want to test out something at the next live stream, which is called components. It's a new function that we can use, and I think that will be very useful using together with grids, that you can position all kinds of things in a different way depending on the amount of space available. So if you don't want to miss that, then join me on the next live stream or watch this video. Thank you for joining, CloudSack. You're welcome. So this was the tutorial section actually. Now we're going to move to any questions about Joomla or about the grid builder or anything. Maybe you have something you can share about something that you're excited about. I'm very very curious. Also, if you haven't done that yet, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like this live stream if you want to see more of these kinds of things. And I hope this structure will help out in the future. I need to get used to it, so I need to have a something to look at that I don't miss anything. So that's why I sometimes look at my screen or my other screen, or I also have a teleprompter, so I have some things on there as well. So I will hope that this will help me out doing a more structured way of doing these kinds of live streams, and I hope you liked it. Yeah, I really like how powerful Grid is, and a few years back I found Grid and I was like, how come nobody's talking about this? It's so efficient and it's so powerful what you can do with the with how things look. It's an awesome. It's just built different. Maybe for next week's tutorial we can either look at what's called using components, but if I don't have time to experiment with that one, I want with components, did I say I meant container? And if I don't manage to do that, I think I will record a section about the classes and components that we how we can use it. Well, I guess this is it. Thank you all for watching and being so active in the chat, and love that you love the CSS Grid, Dave. Then I'm very curious as well. How do you did you experiment with green shift things like already, or haven't you yet? Yeah, have a great weekend, Jimmy, and hopefully see you on the live stream. I hope I can just pop in. The Friday is usually the day that me and my girlfriend are just chilling on the couch and just watching Netflix, not doing much. So maybe I can just listen in, or yeah. Let's see. I really want to support you as well, of course. Right. Thanks, Jimmy, for yeah. Thanks. Looking forward to our call on the next days. By the way, on that one, if you have time tomorrow evening, let me know, because then I do have time to do a call. Don't worry. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. And today we have looked at Joomla, It's something that could be for you, but I don't think I would switch. I did surprisingly like actually, the Joomla shaper. So really would recommend, if you're using Joomla and want to use Joomla, but want to have a page builder experience, take a look at Joomla shaper. The page builder experience that was very close to something like Elementor or Bricks Builder that we have. I've also looked at a little bit touched on the Blitz where we have time tracking and an amazing sorting filter that I've added just last week in PHP. I guess there's some optimizations that can be done, but yeah, it's a client project. So at the end of the time, it's all about how much money and time there's available. We also looked at the inspiration from Jimmy. I got inspired by his live stream to do a better way of structuring my live streams. And we have looked at advanced theme and Bricks Forge updates, advanced themer updates that have the animations that are already live and API connections that are coming up next in Bricks Forge. And I've shown how we can use grids to build something. So I hope you liked this live stream. I thank you all for watching and be very active. CloudSack, Dave, and Jimmy, thank you so much for being so active all the time and being there during the live stream. Really loving it. And yeah, thank you for watching and let me know what I should do next time. And as always, keep designing. I have to awkwardly press the stop streaming and then broadcast button again. So yeah, bye.